Yo, people, welcome back to Benchviews Sport TV. We got a lot to talk about, but first, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Tyler.
My name's Chris.
I'm JayT.
As you know, there's a lot of controversy today at Old Trafford. Man United, Liverpool postponed. We got a lot to talk about on that topic. Other things we got to talk about, obviously, is Everton not being able to make Europe, possibly. Leicester, social media boycott, Euros, and Champions League review. Without further ado, let's get to it. JayT.
Yeah.
In fact, Chris, because you're Man United.
You switched it up.
Yeah. So, in terms of the protest today in the stadium, what do you take on it? Like, in terms of, was it the right thing to do? Because we had no game now, we can't even talk about the game because there was no game. Lord knows when it's going to go on, but yeah, what's your take on it?
I think for Liverpool, it's a godsend because we all know Liverpool are going to get drummed today. Liverpool are going to get drummed. I could just see Marcus Rashford scoring about a hat-trick today. But in all seriousness, it's something it was always going to happen for United, no matter what. I feel like we're tired of the Glazers. Like, they don't really do much for United. They always go against what the fans want, and it's time for them to go. Like, RIP Claude, innit? But it's time for them to go. Like, they actually need to cut because there's not much can do anymore for United. Like, there's not much they can do financially. They've got us into 600 mil of debt. Like, imagine 600 mil debt. How do you even run a club into that? Using the club's like dividends and what they would have made from having fans and the money that the government's giving them to pay for their team in America. It was time for them to go. Jamie Carragher looked absolutely shook when he heard that the Liverpool fans when the United fans were coming in through the stadium. Like, you saw his face, isn't it? He just looked like that was my face. Like, it was interesting, but in all honesty, I think they could have waited till tomorrow. At least let us win first and then go storm the stadium and make a message. Or wait on the 89th minute and then like go run into the stadium, innit? But I feel like, in honesty, it was always going to happen for United. There was always going to be some sort of protest like this anyway.
JayT, what are you saying?
Well, it's hard to point the finger at United fans because this is their anger and frustration coming out. They're not happy with the Glazers. They haven't been happy with the Glazers for a while. And today they've shown it. And United vs Liverpool, this is one of the biggest fixtures in the Premier League, and they let their voices known today on such fixture. So the match being postponed and that, like, it's hard to get at the fans because they're letting how they feel be known, and we're all seeing it. And now it's showing that, listen, fans' opinions matter. These owners often don't get fans' approval before they make decisions, like with the Super League, for example. And then fans are letting them know how they feel. So I can't really get at the fans because the Glazers here, listen, like, I'm no fan of United, but they're bad owners, innit? Like, the roof at Old Trafford leaks. I don't know if you guys have been at Old Trafford,
yeah,
like,
I've been
you're at Old Trafford. When it rains, the roof just leaks. If your owners can't repair a roof of your stadium, they're not serious.
I was watching the news, like Sky Sports News, maybe like a week or so ago, and Gary Neville was chatting, and he was talking about them, and basically he was saying that for the past 17 years, like, the surrounding area of Old Trafford, there's nothing there. It's just empty space. And the last 17 years, it's been like that, and they haven't decided to build anything on there, like a museum. Like, the history the club's got, you could imagine a museum for Man United would be very, very good in it for the fans to come and see, or just on a normal weekday. They can make money from it as well, innit? Or like anything, the Man City got their whole complex where they got their training ground there, and the other stadium that the women use and whatnot. Like, why can't they build something like that around the stadium, around the surrounding area that they have? Also, I see today, the fans that when they was protesting inside the stadium, one guy had a banner that was saying something about, you can buy our club, but you can't buy like our heart and our soul. It's the truth, man. Without the fans, the football clubs can't survive. And a lot of clubs have been noticing that over the last year through the pandemic, because the finances that the fans do bring in is what keeps the club going and what pays the players and whatnot. So without all their fans, then what you're practically nothing, innit? You're a failing business, isn't it? So don't know if that. But Chris, what do you think about them selling the club? Do you reckon they're going to do it? How much is it going to be worth?
Roughly, like, from what I've been reading, I think last year people were quoting 500 mil. Now we're hearing about 4 billion. To buy it for 500 mil is a bloody bargain. Sorry, it's a absolute
They ain't go for
bargain.
500 mil.
500
way.
mil.
No way.
For Man United.
No
For
way.
Man United, that's a bargain. Because
that's a bargain.
United's one of the biggest
No chance,
marketing
500
football
mil.
teams in the world. Yet alone, probably the third biggest team in the world. So what you're getting all of that for 500 mil. And remember, like players like Rashford, Pogba, Bruno, their shirts fly off the racks anywhere you go. Like anywhere you go in the world, I guarantee you, some child or a man is wearing a Paul Pogba shirt. If you go Nigeria, somebody's wearing a Paul Pogba shirt. If you go Jamaica, somebody's wearing a Paul Pogba Man United shirt. So it's all like marketing wise, we're always going to be on top. But 4 billion. The only people, and we know the only people who've got the money to do that is the Saudis. Like the man from the Middle East, they're the only ones that can buy United at 4 bill.
Yeah, but they could be good potential buyers though for the club because look what they've done. Look what the Saudi guys have done for.
But look how they make their money though.
It's like oil money, don't it? But look what they've done. Look what they've done for like Man City. Though. Look at the owners there. The owners there are cool. Look at PSG as well. Same thing. 100%. We've got Saudi or like you know what I'm saying Middle East owners. So look what they're doing to them two clubs, innit? One's they're both in Champions League semi-finals right now and winning a lot, innit?
Because I feel like imagine like the Saudi owners come in, Oli gone. That's the whole project, and that's almost 3 years just down the drain.
Yeah, but they wouldn't just get rid of the manager just like that, especially the fact of who he is to the club. They won't do that. And that's the thing with the Saudi guys. They're not just trying to tear the club from the inside out. Like they're not trying to do that, innit? Like look at Man City come in. Look at all like the players that Man City have like produced in that time when the Saudi guys was there or have been here. So they got there was like what company, players like Zabaleta, players like Aguero. You get what I'm saying? Like this is yes, a lot of guys though that have been there for a long period of time from the start and still there, like Aguero. So they're not just gonna be ripping out the team from the inside out. If there's players that have been gone, it's more something to do with the manager, innit? So the manager wants certain players, like Pep Guardiola wants certain players because of his style of football. So it's more like that. But Jay, we saying about them being able to sell the club or like what do you reckon they're going to do in that situation?
I think Man United easily, like I know it'll be 4 billion, but Man United, there'll be plenty of people trying to buy Man United because the club Man United are. Whether they're going to, new owners, if they come in and they replicate what Man City have done, which is literally build a whole project, get engaged with the community, have a clear pathway from youth academy to the first team. And literally what Man City did, which was smart, they brought in other sporting directors that have been involved with football to help with the running of the club. So if they couldn't do something, they have someone who can, and they have the whole complete project. Whether United go down that route, if they get new owners, is another thing. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Glazers feel no pressure to sell the club. Like, they're not in the country, they're over in America. It's just a business to them. Man United is a business to them. Yeah. Man United makes the money. They get money. They're happy in it.
This is the thing, yeah, with like people like football club owners. At the end of the day, yeah, they're businessmen, innit? That's what I'm saying. They're businessmen at the end of the day. So they're not thinking of it as a football club as a history, the heritage and stuff like that behind the club. They're thinking of it as, yeah, this is making me a lot of money. I'm going to take a lot of this money out of it and I'm going to pump little back in.
But it's like FSG though, like with you man have won the Premier League, won the Champions League. Surely you're getting more money from winning both those competitions than you would have got from finishing third, second, or even just getting to the semi-final of the Champions League. That's going to bring you more money. So it's like, why do you not want your team to be successful? And why are you content with just getting Champions League football each season? Surely I would want to win it if I kept getting it or I was getting it. I would want to win.
But you know what it is? It's like, listen, the Glazers here, like, you know, I'm an NFL fan, innit? The Buccaneers just won the Super Bowl, innit? So they can run a successful project. It's whether they have the motivation or they actually want to.
But you know what it is,
because like, I know NFL is like the different, competing is different, and you can rebuild a team in like a year to challenge for a Super Bowl, etc. But they can run a successful project if they want to.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, let me speak on what you just said, yeah. Obviously, I know the sport as well, innit?
Yeah.
That team, obviously Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously a bit off the football topic for a sec, but that team, you got to remember that was all, winning stuff like that is all down to personnel. They had the coach for it, they had the quarterback, and then they put the pieces around the quarterback, innit? Same, so you can kind of work that out to around football as well, in terms of the personnel in the club. They got the manager, and then you got to be behind the manager, you got to have your star player, and then have the supporting cast around your star players. You know what I'm saying? To win, innit? Man United, they have it. They don't get me wrong. They have it in it, but there's something missing. Whether it's a better defender, out-and-out striker, there's something missing there in it. But
I think we said in the group chat, like when we were talking early this week, I think I said we need about almost 6 or 7 players. more.
You think? Wait. You need
centre.
6 or 7 players to
Nah,
challenge for
you
the
don't
league
need
title.
six.
In
You don't need
terms
6
of,
You don't
we
need
need
6
a
or
quality
7.
right back to partner with Maguire. A quality
Right
right
back.
back. I mean,
Right
centre
back.
back. See what I'm saying? Like, it's been a bit of a shaky week. We need a quality centre back to partner Maguire. We need a backup right back who's good enough to go on the attack. Because Wan-Bissaka, we all know he's not good at attacking. He's terrible. Like, it's kind of shocking sometimes watching him. We need a right winger. We need a decent number 9. We need another like CDM, and we need another player who's gonna basically be our number 9.
Today, yeah, on Sky Sports, Roy Keane, and them lot was talking about how they would rather take Jack Grealish right now than Paul Pogba.
That's disgusting. No.
That's what they said.
You see that? Yeah.
That's what they said.
You
Gary
see
Neville said it.
that?
Jamie Carragher said it. I think was it Graham Souness and
JayT Carroll
Roy
looked like he
Keane.
was about to run for his life when he heard that the fans were coming through. That's a man with no still. Look, I hate it when people start comparing Grealish and Pogba. Don't get
Different players, man.
19 season, yeah, Pogba was our highest scorer. So what was he in a team that was basically crumbling? If there wasn't reinforcements coming in, he would have been gone.
I don't know what the stigma is around Paul Pogba. Yeah,
No,
why
it's
these
not. It's
pundits
shocking.
don't like him. But them lot, they was legit saying that right now they're taking Jack Grealish over Paul Pogba. And they was like, if he wants to leave, let him leave. Don't forget about new contract. They said offload him and bring in Jack Grealish. That's what they were saying. That's what they was all saying. Obviously, these men are all serious footballers and ex-footballers, so they know a lot in it. Yeah, they do though, innit? But that's a bit wild. I ain't gonna lie. If you got Paul Pogba on your team, you're doing everything to keep him and keep him happy. Because the happier Pogba is, then the better he's gonna play.
But think back to this season, yeah. Think back to a lot of the most important games we had. Scoring against Burnley when we went over there. Certain other games. When was it? Against Fulham. Scoring against Fulham. Those were important games. And who produced the goods on that day? Was Pogba.
But speaking on Paul Pogba, obviously someone that receives a lot of online abuse in it for everything, his haircuts, his performances,
Dancing at a
literally,
wedding.
literally anything, yeah.
What they want
We'll,
to do.
let us move on to the next topic of the social media boycott, blackout, whatever you want to call it for the weekend.
The weekend, you know. Do you know how cheeky that is to say? The weekend.
JT, JT, go to you. What do you think about the blackout, the boycott, and do you really think it's going to create change in the racial abuse and online abuse on Instagram, Twitter, etc.?
No. And that's simply because it's the big pages and clubs and people doing the blackout, but it's not the online trolls doing the blackout. They're not doing the blackout. They're very much doing what they're doing, which is online trolling. So it will return. I mean, it raises awareness for the cause and it's putting pressure on social media companies to react to the situation because this season has probably been the worst season. It's been highlighted again and again and again. But at the end of it, I don't think it's doing anything.
Chris,
It's not.
what's your take on it?
Personally, I feel like this whole we're gonna blackout. Look, it's still running away from the main situation. It's not the players abusing themselves, going to DMs, oh, you're an idiot, you're this or that. It's fans from opposing teams. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen fans of the club, like club fans, abusing their players. And it's like, it's not, you're kind of running away from the situation.
Yeah.
What needs to be happening is these social media platforms need to start taking responsibility for the people on their platforms. Because who comes on here to give racial abuse? It's fans.
Yeah,
It's not the teams, it's the fans.
that's what was going to lead me to my next question, isn't it? Like, so what do you think, that the social media companies can do to help prevent or stop this abuse from going on in the future?
If you're gonna make a new account on whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, you should have to link it to your old account. There should be a way to be able to link it to your old account. So that way we kind of know who we're dealing with exactly. And even if you're giving all this even if you're giving all of this racial abuse, you should be blocked off it for life. You should just be cancelled for life.
Let me touch on that, quick. Because I got a funny little story in it, like background. Any of you man use Depop?
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Yeah, I know.
Cool. So me and my girl, we use Depop in it, like we used to, innit? Yeah. But anyway, now when I used to pay used to sell things on there, and obviously the people pay, I'd say look, pay straight through PayPal, so they're going through the Depop thing, which is PayPal still as well, but they take like a 10% fee in it when you sell something. If you go through PayPal, it takes like a 2% fee, so you make more money in it.
Yeah.
So obviously now we done that, but what Depop started doing is reading through. I don't know if it's reading through your things or whatever. Some sort of algorithm to clock on that you were selling things through PayPal, not directly through them, innit? So obviously now they block the accounts. So we thought, yeah, cool. You just make a new account on the phone, whatever, yeah, and you're good. Nah, what they've done is if you're on the same device, yeah, when you try and make a new account, it won't work. It won't work. If you got used, obviously email address, you can change email address. Nah, same device, it won't work. Then you need a new mobile number every time you try and make a new account. So obviously, bro, if you live in a house with not many people or something, not many phones, then how many numbers can you really use, innit? You get me? We can ring all your friends, this and that. Possibly they could introduce a system like that where you need to, when you want to make a new account on a device or any device, then you need a whole new phone number. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like these trolls are gonna be going out to the shop and buying new SIMs every time because they want to, you know what I'm saying, or going to buy new phones because they wanna start trolling Pogba and all these sort of players or racially abusing these players. But JT, what do you reckon? Any other things that they could do?
I mean, social media like Instagram, Twitter, etc. When it comes to copyright, they move very strict with copyright. Like any hint of copyright, post is getting taken down, you're getting notified straight away. So we see that energy for copyright, and obviously that's a serious matter itself, innit? But we see energy for copyright. So they could easily have the same energy towards online abuse and racism. So yeah, it's like what they want to put their resources into. That's literally what it is.
Say, just as like last weekend, the weekend after, the weekend before, when the Super League come about and was all getting come out on the news and whatnot, and just like that, the next day or 2 days later, it was gone. Just the same energy that people were putting in, all the fans protesting things like that, putting in, to not want to abolishing the Super League. They need to do the exact same with racism.
But let me show you a really funny angle about this. You see, if you look at football as fans, the fans, you got the people that make it up, you got the white people who make it up, the black people, the Asian people. You got so many different ethnic minorities and minorities in general that make it up. It's like not every black person, but there will be a couple of black people who probably don't like Asian people. There'll be a couple of white Asian people who don't like white people. So it's very hard to get on the same page for racism. Because I'll guarantee you, I've got neighbours who are white, and you speak to them about this, and they're like, mate, well, I don't really see racism, I don't really see colour either. I think it's all up in your head. And it's like, mate, this isn't all up in my head. Like, this is real. And they'll be like, no, mate, I don't see colour. Like, colour, what's colour to me, mate? I'll have a little Guinness with a black guy. I'll have a Guinness with an Asian guy. But you'll see them live, just shouting the most racist things, ever. So it's like, with these football fans, it would be hard to get a lot of white people on the same page as you. Because remember, we've got older people who are football fans as well. People who were born in the 50s, the 60s, the 80s, who probably would have been chasing down a black guy for being in the wrong area.
Sorry to cut you off, but I don't think it's like them on the social media platforms. These are young kids.
Yeah, but then if that's the point that you're making, then where are these kids learning?
Yeah, from the oldest.
You just get what I'm saying? So just a question to both of you about all of this as well, do you feel like there's a lot of systematic racism then in football, just football, not anything outside, but just football? In terms of owners, and obviously me and you, we watch basketball and stuff like that as well, and we know in terms of the owners, there's not any black owners in the Premier League. Chief executives, there's no black chief executives. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's no. I think you got that Vinay guy from Arsenal, and he's the Asian. Yeah, he's actually chief executive, isn't it? One of them. So you got him, but we're talking black, African, Caribbean, innit? None. Managers, none. So you get what I'm saying? So do you think it's systematic? Do you think these owners and people higher up ain't trying to have people of colour in power?
Why isn't Henry's a manager? Why isn't Henry managing at Arsenal? Why is Vieira not doing it? Why was it Arteta? Arteta has basically zero to any experience in management.
Yeah, but
Vieira's got it.
But to be fair, in their cases, they haven't looked good as managers.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Okay, but even
in the case of Henry and Vieira, I've seen as in managers, they've looked very shaky.
But I would rather
Completely.
that than somebody who's basically got 0 to none. What? Because he was with Pep. He was standing in Pep Guardiola's shadow.
But that's why he got the job.
Yeah.
He was in with Guardiola, and
But I
they
think
think
it
he
is
can
true,
come in
man.
and replicate.
Okay,
Yeah.
but look at Solskjaer, for example. Solskjaer got Cardiff relegated, went all the way back to Norway and was in a farmers league. Came back and for whatever reason, he's doing better. So it's like, give those managers a chance. Like, give them a chance. We don't get a lot of black players, even ex-black players, even people who have never played football before, but tried to get into football. We don't see them at the highest levels possible. I think the person who's not a manager and hasn't worked within the Premier League that I heard has probably the most, like, who is notable was the chief scout for Man United at one point. He worked alongside Sir Alex Ferguson. And even at that, you never hear of that.
Yeah,
But don't get me wrong,
I didn't know that.
But I feel like, don't get me wrong, at times, I feel like as young, not even just like young black people, but I feel like as young boys as well and older men, like when we're playing football, we don't really want to be a manager. Who wants to be a manager at like 5 years old? You want to be the kid who scores the winning goal in the World Cup, scores the winning goal that wins you the Premier League. So we're not really taught at when we're playing football at football clubs, right, you can be a manager. It's okay to be a physio. We're not taught these things until we get older or it hasn't worked for us at football. Then we're like 23 odd or 26 odd or 30 odd trying to make it as a manager now. Whereas look at Jose Mourinho, for example. Jose didn't get to play professional football, but for whatever reason, went to school, got whatever he needed, and just went on to manage. I think it was a semi-pro team at first, then was in Porto's youth rankings, then got to manage at Porto. Then from Porto went to Chelsea, and we all know the story from there on. So I feel like with us, we're not really encouraged to be managers, to be the physio, to be the director of football. We're not encouraged for these, like a lot of these positions. So until we get injured or football doesn't work for us, that's when all of a sudden manager, physio, and you want to do all these things. It's like, no, I feel like football clubs really need to push it to these young boys, not even just young boys, even kids in general. It's okay to be a manager.
JT, just on to you quick here. What sort of things do you reckon, like that, say the Premier League, owners of clubs, like what sort of things do you reckon they could do to maybe promote more young black people, men and women, to get involved in football in terms of wanting to become managers, executives, as you said, physios, things like that? Like, do you reckon they could add some sort of incentives to do that, like courses?
It's hard to say really. I think you don't feel like they put schemes in place. They do all of this and that just so we can have black managers to say, oh, we got black managers in the league. I think it's a bit deeper. I feel like for black managers, you have plenty of former players who have come out and said how hard it is to be a manager. Like we had Seedorf, like the legendary Seedorf, great midfielder, how he spoke about the lack of managerial opportunities he's had. So that just highlights the problem. I feel like there's an uncomfortable factor in hiring black managers. Like, I'll be real. I feel like that's how it is. But it's me. I mean, you don't literally have a Rooney rule in place just to force clubs to interview black people to become managers, because then you'll have, they only got the job because they're black, etc. sort of thing. When I feel like it's actually earned and deserved and they got a fair opportunity to become manager or chief executive or technical director,
But like,
whatever that
even
is.
us as young black people in this room, yeah, how many times have we been told to play the game or wait our turn, when they'll happily give it over to somebody who has 0 to no experience, and it's like we're working so hard and we're receiving so little.
I feel like that's the case, but in some ways it's more comfortable, as in the comfortability from the top. They'll feel more comfortable choosing such and such over a black manager because like that's how it's been. You know what I mean? Because you look at most Premier League clubs. How many black managers have they had in the history of most Premier League clubs?
Oh, never.
As in, like, when you look at most Premier League clubs, how many, like, we've never had a black manager win a Premier League title?
Nah.
Except,
I think the most successful black manager probably was like Chris Hughton. And
100%.
and yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
so
him, yeah.
it's just like how it's been, and obviously something radical would have to happen to just change the course of history.
I feel that's
you know what? Yeah, I feel like
But we've made great strides.
I feel like
in recent years to actually have a black manager in the Premier League, or to say there's been a black manager in the Premier League. It just we need to continue improvement.
you know what it is.
But
Yeah,
it's
I feel
hard
like
to
I
say.
feel like it just not even football and life, and that I believe in the theory of meritocracy, innit, where you get what you put in, basically, innit. If you work hard, then you're gonna reap the rewards of it, innit. And that's just the honest truth. That's how life is, innit. And the same thing should apply within football, innit. An example of that, and obviously, and moving on as well to our next topic, is Duncan Ferguson. When he was managing Everton before Ancelotti, he done a splendid job, and he made Don Calvert-Lewin practically what he is today, innit? Yeah, and well, earlier parts of this season anyway, most definitely. Obviously now, our next topic, of course, is going to be Everton, innit, and where they're lying in the table right now. Whether they're going to make Europe, whether that dream's dead, if the boat sailed now, we have to figure it out, innit? But Everton were flying at the start of the season. Don Calvert-Lewin scored like 9 goals in the first 7 games. James James Rodriguez was doing his thing. Alan was doing his thing. And everything was clicking, like they got depth, everything was good. And now they had a couple injuries. They dropped down the table. They're looking at they're sitting around in 9th right now.
Yeah, the 9th. As of this.
And what they lost the other day?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so what do you think, Chris, that the main problem was them dropping off their form from earlier in the season?
I think, you know what, they've got a squad there. I feel like if they can keep a lot of those players fit, they can definitely challenge or push for a cup, or even push for 3rd or 4th maybe. But I feel it's all to do with keeping the players fit. I feel like the tactics as well sometimes kind of let them down a little. I feel like with United, again, guys, I know I keep going back to this United game at Old Trafford, but I feel like they kind of held themselves back a little, because we saw in the last couple of minutes how Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored that goal to hold United to a draw. I feel like sometimes they hold themselves back a little in the way they play. Like, they're not very forward. They're not trying to choke teams into giving them the ball. They're not really aggressive. Whereas I feel like if they played more of an aggressive style of football with the likes of Allen, the Corey, 100% they're getting higher. They're striving more. But I feel like a conservative player who's trying to play this neat tiki-taka, it's boring. I feel like you said, the Duncan Ferguson, we all know Duncan Ferguson is a madman, right?
Yeah.
Some of the things he's done. You need somebody like that in the changing room to get these guys going. Like, sometimes they may need a shock reaction, like a Jose sometimes. Obviously, not Jose Mourinho to come and manage them, but a Jose-esque kind of, you know what, you're not playing well today, in the media, to get a lot of them to pull up their socks. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they need somebody who, you know, when Dominic Calvert-Lewin's injured or he needs a rest, to come in and play those games for him. And come and do that, because it's not fair on Calvert, on DCL, if he's always playing and he always has to perform, and the days he's not performing, all of a sudden they're slacking.
Yeah.
So they need a backup striker. I would say a backup striker. They need a decent goalkeeper, because I don't think Pickford's the answer. And obviously we're going to go into the England stuff later, but I don't think Pickford is good enough to be or stay at number 1 and continue playing the rest of the season.
JayT, what do you reckon? What do you think about Everton and the fact that what's the reason behind them slacking off and dropping down the table?
Right, so when I look at Everton, like I look at Leicester sort of thing, and I compare Everton and Leicester, because Leicester are doing right now what Everton have been trying to do for the last couple of years, and that is break into that top 6 and be amongst that top 6. And then Leicester have done it like to perfection. They've literally, if there was a blueprint how to break into the top 6, you'll be following what Leicester have done. So Everton, I look at Everton, they've done that as in getting a good manager, Ancelotti. Like, I questioned it, not at the time because of his credentials, but because he's not been to a club like Everton. He's been at a club that's at the top in the country he's gone to. Like, he's the guy you get in to literally get the club winning, like get them over the line. So they went and got a proven manager, world-class manager in Ancelotti, someone with success. But I feel like where they've let themselves down is the recruitment. Now, since Ancelotti's been there, they've got a team together. They've got a decent XI, decent starting 11. He's cleared out some of the dead wood that they had, or the players that weren't doing it at all. So they've made great strides, but I feel like for this season, towards the end, they've just come undone, because when you look at Leicester, Vardy, second half of the season, he hasn't been prolific goal scoring, but they had Ian Nacho stepping up scoring. When Calvert-Lewin ain't scoring, Who do Everton have stepping up scoring?
Same as what you
Like
were saying, innit?
Sigurdsson gets the odd goal here or there, etc. Then you look at the midfield. When Alan went missing, like the midfield weren't the same. So they had like a set way, he had the set players, etc. But depth wise, they just couldn't do it.
Listen, when I saw some stat the other day, yeah, like when Alan got injured, from when he come back, he I think he missed like half of the games in it of the season. So I think he had played like 16, and he missed 16, and he still had double like in the team. Yeah, he had the most interceptions in the team, and I'm talking like he had double the amount of the next person. So someone like a player like him was a big miss, innit? Yeah, and obviously what you guys are saying is true about if DCL's not firing, then who they really got to turn to, and the answer to that should be Richarlison. But Richarlison he's had a good season, innit? Yeah, but by his standards, not good enough in terms of goal scoring. I think he's only scored like 7-8 goals this season. But if you see his performances to the eye, he's very good. Week in, week out, he's very good. He's always giving you a 7 or 8 out of 10, innit? Yeah, and he's putting in a shift. And I think like, because what you saw at Watford, well, this guy was a beast. He was an animal. You're thinking, oh snap, like this guy's gonna end up at Barcelona and Real Madrid the next couple of years, where he was coming through and pushing through. But the season he's had this season, I kind of like, I won't say he's taken too many steps back here, but he definitely hasn't taken any steps forward, innit? It's like he stayed at the same level. I don't know, maybe if he needs a move or something or competition to maybe push him forward, innit? Yeah, because he's got so much talent, and he needs to, you know what I'm saying, progress in it, and he's still only like 23 years old, so.
Would you say that you would have given Duncan Ferguson the role of manager a little bit longer?
Nah, if I got opportunity to bring in someone like Carlo Ancelotti, the experience that he has, and where he's gone, he's always done pretty well. I'm bringing him in.
Because I feel like with Everton, I don't know if any of you read up on when Ancelotti came in, but Everton actually tried to recruit him before he went Napoli. They tried to recruit him before he went Napoli. They were speaking to him when he was at Madrid a little, but Ancelotti was always the goal. But I feel like someone like Duncan Ferguson, he's the kind of guy who can shake things up there, though. I'm not saying as a manager. Sometimes he may just have to be the guy who goes into the change room.
But you know what it is, yeah. You know what it is, though. Yeah. What he done very well in his role, and he deserved to be where he was. And obviously, he didn't deserve maybe to go as soon as he did. But he knew that he was only there temporary. Yeah. So what you see now, Ancelotti's there, but he's still the assistant manager. Yeah. So he's still there. When Ancelotti's there, he's next to him on the sideline, in his touchline, his box. So he's there shouting as well, and you know what I'm saying, still doing the exact same things he was doing when he was the actual manager in it at the time. He's still there, like gassing up the players, pumping up the players, in it. So he's still doing what he does, isn't it?
When I look at Everton though, like this season, if I was an Everton fan, I'd be disappointed, innit? Like I know their depth has been questionable. How they dealt with injuries has been questionable. They don't have enough goal scorers. And then when James Rodriguez, he's come in and out of the team. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. But I'll be disappointed because this season they've got a win over Liverpool, something that never happens. They've got a win at Arsenal, something that never happens. So they've got big victories. They show they can compete. It's just they lack consistency because they played Aston Villa at home. A game you'll be like, okay, Aston Villa have done well this season, no discredit to them. Yeah. But at home you'll be saying you want to be a top 4 team, you need to be beating the teams like Aston Villa at home. But you need to be winning them games. And I think it's the mentality.
This season's been a weird season though.
No, but it's been a weird season.
In the grand scheme of things, this season naturally has been such a
I know, but you can't keep saying like this season's been weird because everyone's playing like the same sort of thing with no fans in the stadium. Everyone's got the same. Literally, you know what I'm saying?
It was lazy luck that got them for us.
Wait, alright, cool.
Because they got a good squad.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they haven't got a good squad, but it was lady luck that got them first. Because look, Van Dijk got injured when they were playing Liverpool. Okay. So now you're taking one of the biggest players.
Nasty man, fam.
You're taking one of the biggest players or one of the best defensive players in the league out. So he can't compete no more. And remember, he actually had to go off the pitch.
And Thiago got injured in that game.
Yeah, but
Thiago got injured in that game.
Listen, you're going to talk about the Merseyside derby. But listen, that's all. That's all rubbish.
Like,
I ain't even defending that loss.
This whole season has been so funny because even look at City.
I know this season's been funny, but Everton, time and time again, this season they've had their chance in a game to win and close the gap between them and the teams in the top 4, and they bottled it. They haven't won.
But
They
look,
haven't stepped up.
but look, like overall, yeah, I feel like apart from, well, actually, yeah, to do with links to do with the injuries in it, yeah, I feel like James Rodriguez has probably been the biggest thing for Everton this season.
Yeah, James
and
Rodriguez
obviously they've only got him on. They've only got him on loan, innit?
Is it on loan?
Yeah, he's on loan. He's on loan. James Rodriguez is on loan.
It's possible they got him on loan. I don't think they could afford him.
Nah, he's on loan. I'm pretty sure he's on
He's
loan.
not on loan.
James Rodriguez is on loan.
Hey,
He's not on loan.
Producer, hey, search that up. Search that
got
up.
him,
But
man.
look.
But you should know that,
But
man.
listen,
They
They ain't got
listen.
the bread like that. I don't think they
Listen,
got bread like that.
They
regardless.
ain't got bread like that, man.
I
They
would
got
say they got
billionaire
bread.
owners.
Listen. Regardless, yeah. James Rodriguez has probably been the biggest factor in it, and the fact that
For 20 mil still.
they bought him.
Yeah, for 20
For 20
Yeah.
mil. Oh,
How are you saying he's on loan,
This is
man?
the
Of course
story.
they signed him.
All right,
okay,
cool.
okay, but
Look, listen. So, just the fact that he has been in and out, as you're saying, injured here and there, and he got out for a couple of weeks, back 1 game, 2 games, then he's been inconsistent in it in terms of his fitness. I feel like when the start of the season, when they was firing, he was fit, he was playing every game, he was scoring goals, assists. But he looked at the James Rodriguez that we saw at Colombia at the World Cup.
But
What-
you know
you know what I'm saying?
Another point with Everton, yeah. It's like, yeah, when he's in the side, they're a different side, etc. But Luca Dean, yeah, the left back.
He's cold.
He's cold.
Yeah, he's cold.
He's
He's cold.
good. He's a good
He's-
left back.
yeah, he's cold.
a good left back. But sometimes when they have him and Seamus Coleman, it's a bit predictable because you know what they want to do. They want to get in behind and then get balls in the box, tack Calvert-Lewin. And they've got good midfielders. So I feel like sometimes they need to switch up the play.
tactics,
because
yeah.
sometimes I've seen Everton
Alright, cool.
and they've been
But do you
slapping
know
balls
what,
in the
yeah.
box, being one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Well, there's no
Yeah,
counter
yeah.
you can have for that because that
no,
happens.
get me wrong. They've been
That
one
happens.
dimensional, but imagine, yeah, Richarlison on one wing and St. Maximan on the other.
So what are you saying? They
think
should
they
sign.
should
They
get
should
Saint
sign Saint
Maximin. I think they should sign
Maximin.
Saint Maximin,
It's
'cause
definitely
I feel like-
doable. It's definitely doable.
Like
But
JT said, sorry,
wait, go on.
like JT said, like sometimes they're just a bit too predictable. Where some like St. Maximin,
Yeah,
is
you
so
should-
predictable.
That's-
Like,
yeah,
you know-
but
you know what it
Saint
is?
Maximin, he
You know what
don't
it
know
is?
what he's doing next. That's why.
Everton can be predictable, but the Calvert-Lewin being the type of striker it is, it's hard not to just get the ball and be like, listen, let me just slap a 50-yard cross or whatever to him
it's true.
and expect him. Like, you
Nah,
know what
but
I mean?
that's where he's
That's what
strong,
you get in the
innit?
habit
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
That's what you get in the habit of
I feel
because
like-
it's hard not to. Like when you got someone
Yeah.
like Calvert-Lewin, you want me to keep the ball
He's
on
like
the
6'3" or something.
like you want me to keep the ball on the ground. Like it's laziness, isn't it? You can get an easy
But would you say that
habits
he
of
needs to
doing that.
kind of switch up the way he plays as a number 9? Then
Nah,
instead
I
of being
don't.
like,
But you know-
I don't think it's on Calvert-Lewin at
Nah,
all.
yeah, but you know what it
He's
is,
done
yeah.
nothing wrong. Like,
You know,
obviously, he can add more to his game, but
You know-
you don't need to switch up the way you play.
I think Everton are definitely a well-oiled machine when everyone's there. But obviously, as you said, obviously it's been inconsistent in terms of fitness for most players on their team. So I feel like if next season, obviously now that we confirm that James actually has signed permanently, hopefully if he has a
How could you not?
hopefully if he has a fully fit season, which he probably won't in it because he rarely does, but if he's gonna get 3/4 of the games out of him, then they could next season predominantly be in the top 6 in it and challenging in it for Champions League in it. But another team that obviously are lacking consistency right now, have a couple players back from injury, so it could be climbing again. But Leicester.
Leicester.
Let me take Leicester.
Leicester.
Cool. Listen, when I said Leicester are gonna fall out the top 4, that was me looking more to who they had in front of them, the fixtures they had in front of them, and then their form was a bit skeptical up and down. But now I'm looking at it, I think they're gonna go over the line. I see no reason for them not to, but I don't see West Ham. I said West Ham before. I don't see West Ham literally getting in. I don't know.
I think
but,
it's fair as well.
But for Leicester, now they've stepped up well. Like Ian Nacho, he's been like no one saw this coming from him. Like we all knew he had potential from what he was doing at Man City when he was given a chance. But we never saw him like firing every week. He be the goal scorer ahead of Vardy. But when I look at Leicester, like they can be happy with this season if they get top 4, because they got top 4. They're in the FA Cup final. I mean, they've got a good manager, Brendan Rodgers. He rejected Tottenham. He wants to stay at the club. He's committed to the club. They recruit well, because if you look at their players, like Leicester have let go over the last year. And then the way they replaced them, they have a set system. So yeah, Leicester can be quite happy, and they could have European football.
Yeah.
next year, which is a bit crazy for me. Cause being at DMU and that, I just got like 3,000 Olympiacos fans storming down Upperton Road on a Tuesday, Wednesday
You know
night.
what? Yeah, you see with Leicester, I like Leicester. Nobody should ever get it wrong. Leicester for me is a team that, like JayT said, like they came from Championship one season, smacked Man United 4-2, and made a name for themselves after that, and then went and won the Premier League. And I think 16-17 they didn't really do too well.
Nah, they had the Cloud Pool era, and he kind of regressed. But since Brendan Rodgers,
he's come in and he's done stuff for them. And I feel like with Leicester, like going next season, I think one area I would look at is striking, because in natural, don't get me wrong, he can do it, but I don't think he's that consistent striker. I think he can get you 10 goals in a season. But you need more than 10 goals to win.
Right about now, he's just having the best season.
So he has
best
period.
but
they're not consistent.
Now, for Leicester, to strengthen? If I was to look at Leicester to strengthen, it's more of just the depth kind of thing. Because you don't want players. I mean, they've dealt with it reasonably well because they have a lot of injuries. But I feel like the depth and maybe character in the team, because you don't get far in this league without having players of real character. And I look at it, and they've got some leaders, but their main leaders, Wes Morgan and Christian Fuchs, they look set to depart from the club this summer. Like, I know they've rarely played, but maybe getting the right characters in. Because for Leicester, you don't want to go get someone who's gonna imbalance. He's gonna go disrupt what they've got going for them. So when they recruit this summer, I think they need to look at the character as well as the ability of players.
You say that, like, if Pereira was to go down, if West Brom are going down, let's be real, West Brom going down.
But listen, we know this.
So would you get a Pereira from a West Brom to come in, strengthen the attack?
Nah. Honestly, Pereira's a good player, but
they don't need
I don't think he'll get in the Leicester team.
I'll be honest. He won't.
He'll be a good depth option. Whether you can be like him, you can literally sit on the bench.
Pereira likes to play through the middle, innit? Like Leicester being the 10 rather out on the wing, innit? Yeah, because he's not super fast, innit? He's more technical, innit? And I'll be honest, Leicester got James Maddison. He's English. You already know he's not getting dropped. He's in England squad, all of that.
When we look at Maddison, we know he's a good player. And then this season, before he got injured, he improved his end product. And his link-up play. We always know he's a good player. He's got talent. And he can take the odd long shot here and there. But this season, he was more consistent. James week in, week out.
James Maddison is the difference for that team. Remember before we were saying they weren't going to make top 4 because they had injuries to certain players, blah, blah. And he was the most key player that was injured, yeah. And now that he's back, obviously, I know they didn't have a good result on like this weekend, but they did the week before that. And he was playing in it. But if they do make top 4, it will be because of him. He'll be the main reason, because the creativity behind Vardy and Iheanacho, it's gonna come from him. It's gonna come from Tielemans and Wilfred Ndidi gonna sit behind him, and then James Maddison has that free role to roam around and do what he needs to do and get on the ball and play it for, because everything will come through him. Everything's through him.
The biggest reason Leicester are gonna get what they get is the defending. Like James Maddison, his importance in attack, we all know what James Maddison can do. He can create chances, get in between the lines, get the ball on the half turn, spray around, bring other players into play. But when I look at Leicester, a key area for Leicester is the defence. They've got good fullbacks. Like Chilwell, when Chilwell left, everyone's like, oh, Chilwell's good, etc. They recruited well. They got that guy, what's his name? From
Castagne.
Yeah, from Atalanta. Yeah, always get the name pronunciation wrong. They got James, whatever his name, James JJ. Call him JJ. JJ, he's good. And then Pereira coming back. Yeah. So they got good options at fullback. They bought in Fofana. He's been very good at centre back.
I like him.
Like if you just say like best young defenders like under 21 in the league right now, you'd be like, yes, he's been up there. Like often don't highlight what he's done because Ruben Diaz has completely destroyed everyone. Then they got Johnny Evans, the experienced Johnny Evans. Like I know he's getting on, but he's good. Then they got Soyuncu. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. Do you know what I hate? Like, okay, this is a bit off topic. Arsenal got Socrates over this guy Soyuncu.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah. So anyway, but he's good. So when I look at Leicester from the back, they're solid. And then they got Kasper Schmeichel behind
Let-
a good goalkeeper.
Can I get something out before we move?
Wait.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
That being said, they got that. So yeah, that being said, I think the defense and the foundations that they've got allows them to do well in an attacking sense.
Okay, can I get something out before? I know we wasn't trying to talk about the top 4 too much and stuff, but I got gifts for you guys. I got a gift for both of you, man, today.
Oh god.
You know, Uncle Tyler comes and
Birthday night.
Uncle. Just gotta let my guys know.
Man, this guy.
That we're still here. We're still here. That's for you, my brother.
This guy came out the car with this, and I was thinking, what is he doing?
Hold on a second. I think I got some more here. Hold up. It's for you, my brother, too. Maybe a bigger size for you, in fact. Hold up. Oh, that's the embroidery, too. Oh, champions. That's for you as well, my brother. There you go. There you go.
Use this to wipe my
There you go.
But it's cool.
But have to give my guy something before we move on to the
You see that dog? Hey, you see that dog mark over there?
to the chat.
You see the table? Let me.
Hey, this is golden memorabilia. Golden memorabilia.
Anyway, now we
listen.
But anyway, listen.
You're taking up time.
Listen. So, anyway, now Kings of Europe at the same time. We're gonna move on to Champions League. Of course, Man City won their first leg 2-1 against PSG. Chelsea and Real Madrid drew 1-0.
Of course. Let me get into the Champions League.
Go on, your thing. Do your thing.
Listen. For the Champions League, Real Madrid vs Chelsea. Yeah. No. Listen, I knew how that game was going to plan out. It was going to be tight. Both teams were going to make life difficult for each other. It was literally that battle you have, and it's like, listen, no man's land. We're going to just walk around no man's land, etc. Fight on the edge, sort of thing. So I knew nothing was really going to happen in the first leg of that game. I think it opens up nicely for the second leg, but in the first leg, I knew both teams were going to set out defensively, get behind the ball, make it sort of difficult to break down for each other. But yeah, that's how I knew the game was going to plan out. Like Werner, when he had his chance, listen, that was his big chance. If he scored that, different game entirely. Because Real Madrid are not going to give you much chances. They're not going to go beat themselves. And they didn't really do much. I think Chelsea were the better side in an attacking sense. Like the only player from Real Madrid that was trying to score was Benzema. But Real Madrid do what they do so well, which is take the sting out of the game at the right time and good game management.
So who do you think is going to win second leg?
So going into the second leg,
I think it's just got to be Madrid.
You're going with Madrid. It's hard to, like, for my position, it's hard to write off Madrid because we've seen them do this so many times. They've been in this situation so many times. The experience that they have of doing this. But I can't lie, I'm going to Chelsea here. I'll be honest. I fancy.
I think producer wants to say something.
Listen.
Do you know what you said? Like, obviously, we haven't been in this position like bare times in it.
I was about to get on. I know what you're gonna say.
Do you think once again?
Listen.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Go on, Chris. Go on. Say what you're gonna say before.
I just want to say,
So I got a question.
I'm a United fan. You're a United fan. We both like Ronaldo, but allow it Ronaldo at the moment. Like, you know what? Yeah, Madrid don't have Ronaldo, and I respect them for trying to make it work without going and moving the sky and the mountains to go sign somebody else after they signed Hazard. I feel like this.
Wait. Wasn't he the Ronaldo replacement? Hazard?
Yeah. No, no. He was a Hazard. He was an absolute health and safety hazard. Like that's not the Hazard we all know and love. But I feel like with Chelsea set up in a way that I liked. I feel like they tried to go on the counter, like you said. They played very attacking football, and they tried to get it as good as they can. And I think I'm starting to like Tuchel a little. Because the way he's playing, like he didn't give Madrid time on the ball. He didn't give them a lot of space. He didn't let them have a lot of time. Players like Benzema, for example, if you give Benzema space and time on the edge of your box, in the box, it's a problem.
Right.
But he had them lock onto Benzema and stay very close.
Before we chat about the PSG Man City game, just a question to you lot. If Real Madrid do go on to the final and win the final, win Champions League again, without Ronaldo, what does that mean for this Real Madrid team? Because it's basically the same team and it's just without him.
I feel like after that you got to not disband the team, but you actually now have to bring in enforcement.
No. I'm saying like
They're good.
So I'm saying like, so if they win without Ronaldo with practically the same team, does that kind of downplay the wins they had with him, and as if to say like it was a team based thing and it wasn't Ronaldo that won them Champions Leagues?
No. It's Ronaldo. No, I'm not saying it's all Ronaldo, but let's not sleep on what Ronaldo did against Wolfsburg, what he did against Bayern, what he did against Atletico Madrid. Like even Juventus, like he put in a shift against all those teams. And I'm not talking about your little 9 to 5. I'm talking about he did the 9 to 5, did overtime, didn't even take a break, still came back to do the 9 to 5 and did a little bit more overtime. Ronaldo put in so much more work. Even the manager is asking him like, do you not want to take a break?
You done?
No, I'm not done making up Ronaldo yet. I'll let you know when I'm done in it. I know you man ain't had anybody instrumental like Ronaldo, so I'm gonna let you do your thing later.
Already didn't win the Champions League, but I hear you.
Sharp.
Henry's biggest moment was at Red Bull, just like there with that the corner flag.
Don't ever diss Henry.
Go on.
My proximity again. Don't ever. This is serious.
John, jump. Go on, land.
You're talking about Ronaldo and the Champions Leagues. Listen, it's a completely different Real Madrid what we're seeing. Mm-hmm. They're playing in a different way, different manner. It's like an Asian team, so they're more grinding out results. Yeah. When Ronaldo was there, they were not grinding out results to the manner that they're doing. They were not sitting back. Teams, they were not sitting back, getting behind the ball, taking this thing out of the game, etc. They were going forward and taking the game to teams. So to say how it looks for Ronaldo if Real Madrid win the Champions League, etc., like listen, it's completely different teams. So he shouldn't get discredited at all if Real Madrid go and win the Champions League.
Okay, cool. So Chris, then jumping on to obviously the next game, Man City PSG. 2-1 advantage Man City.
Wait, quickly. Predictions for Real Madrid Chelsea. So who do you think's going through?
I think just on experience, Madrid win it. They just have to.
I think Chelsea are gonna go through.
I think going away.
Like I'm being honest.
Madrid are going away to Stamford Bridge.
Wait. Just quickly. I want Chelsea to win, but I think Madrid are gonna take it, man. Just on experience.
I can't lie. Listen,
unless Thiago Silva
I don't know if it's the West London in me, innit? But obviously, London. Like, London is red, innit? I know the Chelsea fans going to get onto me, innit? But I always see London as red, innit? But Chelsea, I can't lie, I see them going to the final. I'm being deadly serious.
We'll see. But
I don't see them getting beaten at the bridge.
Look, PSG, Man City, obviously, advantage Man City. So.
See Red Mahrez. That guy there, he's a bad boy.
He's a bad
man.
Somebody like Red Mahrez, people like him should be locked up. Like, you know when you see him when he's got the gloves on, you know he's a gunman. Like, he's a pure gunman.
Short sleeve and gloves.
Come on, bro.
This combination.
Like, you see with him, I've been saying it since day one when he was at Leicester. He's such a baller. Like, I don't understand why at the start of the season he wasn't getting played as much. Especially when it came to the attacking and striking role. Like, he could have played that. And I like the way he kind of commanded the game a little. I know he wasn't shouting and screaming against against PSG, but he slightly commanded the game a bit. You see with him and De Bruyne over the free kick, he's saying De Bruyne, let me take it. And I like that he's got self-confidence to do that.
How can you not use
I think Pep as well, You know what? I've not slept on Pep, but I've disrespected Pep in the past. And Pep, I feel like it's the time to win the Champions League is now. If anything, it's probably now is the time to do it. It's really open for them. Like, this is a golden opportunity.
JayT, we saying?
What, in the performance of Man City, listen, Mahrez, if my manager ever put me to mark Mahrez 1v1, listen, I'm putting a white flag up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an ankle twist up, broken, kneecaps, this discombobulated and them things there. But anyways, to the performance, Man City, the first half, I was concerned. They couldn't get out of their box. PSG were playing expansive football, popping the ball around. Mbappe was looking sharp. I know everyone's going about he didn't have a shot in the whole game, etc. But he was looking sharp. Like, he put Diaz on his backside at one point. Like, he was looking sharp. PSG got that goal from Marquinhos, whatever it's
Marquinhos,
Marquinhos, it's the pronunciation from unit. Listen, he's been a big player for them. He stepped up. He's like their Ramos, innit? But I was like, this could be deep, innit? I was thinking Man City could be going out the way PSG were playing in that first half. But I knew Man City would show character. They wouldn't come out again as bad as they were in the first half. I mean, it was a bit difficult for them to match that level. But I knew they'd be ready and up for it. But then I was like, they were completely up for it. PSG had no answers to the questions Man City were presenting. So yeah, it's just like they couldn't do anything.
So quickly then, what's your prediction, innit?
Man City, I can't lie. I
go
know
through.
Mbappe and Neymar, like the quality players that they are, and how they can change a game, the chemistry that they have. But Man City getting the 2 away goals, I think that's what's going to be key.
So you
Because
say
Man City at home,
So
I don't
it's-
fancy the PSG's chances.
so your prediction Man City then going through.
Yeah, I'm predicting Man
Chris,
City.
what's your prediction?
All English final.
What's your prediction?
City.
Just quick.
City all the way like into the final.
Yeah.
No, the producer's looking at me like I'm a bad man, yeah. But it's the honest truth, like they're going through.
I see a City versus Chelsea final now after.
But-
But I've seen in the first legs, I see that happening.
You know what? Yeah, I think PSG are gonna do. I think Mbappe is gonna come alive and then him and Neymar are gonna link up pretty well and do their thing still. But moving on, just like obviously the last thing, talk about quick fire practice. We've only got long left.
Thursday nights. Thursday nights.
Europa League.
Just a quick one then, because we got to obviously talk about Euros as well, and the Euros in England.
Oh,
but
we're talking about Euros.
no,
Thursday
no,
nights.
we'll do Europa as well. Just a
on,
quick one.
Arsenal first.
Just literally quick prediction. Not too much. Just quick prediction.
Arsenal Man United final. I see you.
Yeah.
there, Chris.
Sorry, it's United been a Real fine with it. Like,
Nah, I think Arsenal, Man United as well. I think Arsenal are just a bit bugging it at times. They're gonna
wake
come
up
back. Yeah.
United-
Aubameyang's back and that as well. So
Unai Emery is gonna just show why he shouldn't have been fired. He's really
Listen. Anyway, your prediction.
yeah.
I
So
don't want to hear about Unai Emery.
he said it
But
already.
fam,
He said Villarreal.
United's like, fam, can you smell what Solskjaer's cooking at the moment, bro?
What's he
That is
cooking?
six-
What's he cooking? Before
6-2.
he was driving at the wheel.
6-2.
Before he was driving at the
This
wheel,
guy's
and he
driving-
crashed.
he's driving
He crashed
and
at the
cooking
wheel.
same
So what's he
time.
cooking now?
One hand on the steering wheel, the other hand
Man,
on the pot. fam.
listen. You might
He's doing it at the
overcook the food. You might overcook the
He
food. You might overcook it.
He's on some Chef Ramsay.
Look, I don't think he'll get the raw chicken the way Man United are playing, but I think he's gonna overcook the food. I think the food might come out burnt, you know.
But honestly, yeah, I was so, because I remember our producer was he was proper happy when United scored, but I said it. United from winning positions is scary. I get scared when I see United at a winning position because there's so many times where we mess it up.
Adrenaline.
Look, Man United are definitely going to go to the final. I think Arsenal are going to do the thing as well. But
Same.
that's the predictions
The
on that.
battle of the
Yeah.
TL.
And obviously, let's talk about the Euros, England squad. Who's going to make it? Who's going to miss out? Obviously, they changed the format now. So you have 26 players in the team, in the squad.
That's a
rather
lot,
than
you know.
23, which is quite a lot. Let's just a quick one of. I'm just going to go each person. Yeah. Just goalkeepers. Who's England taking?
Listen,
3-4 goalkeepers.
Pickford, man, you shouldn't
just
be on
quick,
that plane.
just quick.
So I got Henderson.
Yeah.
I've got Pope,
Yeah.
and I've got Pickford, but third choice.
Alright, who you got as
Third
the
choice.
goalkeepers? Just quick.
Henderson, then we'll go in Pickford, not Pickford, God forbid, Pickford, Pope, and then John Stones.
He's not
John
a
Stones
goalkeeper,
as
bro.
goalkeeper.
No.
John Stones is a goalkeeper, bro. Oh, you mean John Stone? Oh, no, you mean
John
West
Stone.
Brom.
Oh,
West Brom.
Johnston.
I thought that's Johnston.
That's Johnston.
That's Johnston, not John Stones.
I said John Stones. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pickford, Henderson, and Johnson as well. He's a good goalkeeper still.
So I got Pickford,
and then,
Henderson,
Yeah,
Pope.
defenders.
Right backs.
Yeah, 2 right backs, 4 centre backs, and 2 left backs.
2 right backs.
Yeah,
I can't lie, I had 3 right backs in my 26.
go on.
I had Reece James, Walker, and Trent.
And then centre backs.
I had centre backs, Maguire. Gomez is absent,
Yeah,
so that put me Maguire, Stones, Tyrone Mings, and Eric Dyer's nowhere near this team in it. So I had Connor Cody. I would have picked like Tarkowski or Konsa, but yeah, they're not making it.
Right backs, I'm gonna go Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, sorry. You didn't do left backs.
Oh, and my 3 left backs, that's Chilwell and Shaw. Like that's not up for debate.
Okay, so Wan-Bissaka, Trent, and I'll say Walker. Then at centre backs, we're going Maguire. We're going, as he said, Mings. Then we're going. I mean, we could give him a shout. Ben Godfrey. No, Michael Keane actually. Michael Keane and James Tarkowski. I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw at left back, and I would say Ben Chilwell.
I'm going, right backs. I'm only going to take 2 because I'm going to say Kyle Walker as a centre back because for England, that's where he plays. But I say Trent and Reece James, and then Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, who's that? John Stones, and
I forgot.
And I'm actually gonna go Eric Dyer still. Cause I like him at centre back in it for England. And then Chilwell, and only because Joe Gomez is injured, innit? And then Chilwell and Luke Shaw, midfielders.
So we're all leaving out Trippier. Because
Yeah,
realistically,
I can't lie, he's dead.
I'm leaving out Trippier, but first half of the season he was quite good, and then he's been quite good at Atletico, and Southgate is clearly a fan of him. So I'm leaving him out
But he'll probably make
but
it.
I expect him to go to the Euros.
But got midfield.
Midfield, this is the hardest one. Henderson,
You know it.
but I don't
know
know.
Captain,
I don't know
huh?
his injury status. That's the only thing. So if Henderson's
Yeah,
fit, he's I'm taking him. Declan Rice,
Mm-hmm.
that's automatic pretty much. Mason Mount, that's another automatic pick for me. My God, who else is there? Calvin Phillips. I think he just gets it. I don't know if he'll start. I don't know if he'll start, but Calvin Phillips will get in. And then I think I got to take Jude Bellingham.
Yeah,
I've got to take him.
Go on.
I've got to take
We're
him.
going Declan White Rice. After Declan White Rice, we're going
Declan Rice in peace.
Declan Jollof Rice. No, that was dead. Sorry. So we're going Declan Rice, Phillips. We're going Phil Foden, James Maddison, and I would actually like to put Jesse Lingard in the midfield.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go with Henderson, Bellingham, Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, Jesse Lingard, and who's the guy you said again?
Jesse.
Nah.
Phillips.
Calvin Phillips.
Nah. Forgot his name still.
Bellingham.
I forgot his name.
I don't know.
Maddison.
And then Madison, and the strikers.
Well, I was gonna do wide players, innit? Forwards. Wingers,
Just do it
whatever.
forwards as wingers and
Yeah,
strikers,
forwards,
right?
wingers, strikers, because that's what I was gonna put. Grealish, Foden, Harry Kane, Calvert-Lewin, Raheem Sterling, Lingard.
Whoa, you're buzzing,
Wait,
fam.
no, I can't lie. I gotta put Lingard in.
Yeah, but you're missing
someone.
someone though.
Oh my God. Oh my
Sancho's in there.
Oh my
You know
God!
he-
Hey, no, I'm gonna go back.
He is.
What you doing?
Yeah.
Who am I missing off the top of my head? But I forgot.
First of all,
What do you mean,
we go-
Rashford, bro?
Oh yeah, of course Rashford's in there.
Rashford.
Oh no, of
Wait,
course
wait,
Rashford's in there.
Alright, cool, go
I was
on.
getting to Rashford.
Go on, your turn.
Well, Rashford feeded the kids at first.
Of
Then
course,
we go
of course
Kane.
he's there.
Then we go Sancho. I'm probably going to leave out Sterling. Then
This guy's buzzing. Go on.
we're leaving out Sterling.
Go on.
After we're leaving out Sterling, we're probably going to go Danny Ings. After Danny Ings, I would say Harvey Barnes. Wait, what?
Wait.
Hold on,
Hold
do your
up. Harvey
thing,
Barnes
do
is
your thing.
injured out for the
Do
season.
your
Danny
thing,
Inzaghi.
Do your thing.
I don't think Southgate
Hey,
will
do
pick
your thing.
But who else am I going for?
Well, your team is
Oh.
horrific.
No, that's it.
Alright, cool. Harry Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Sancho. I think I'm gonna take Greenwood as well. Just some youth and Phil Foden, of course,
Oh, how can I forget Saka?
How can I forget Saka?
I forgot Saka.
Greenwood.
Listen.
Saka will go as
This
well.
was an on-the-spot England team. If I had it all written out in
You know,
front of
like
me,
that, like,
I would have had the
next week,
proper 26.
But next
Next
week,
week,
we'll give you-
I'll be ready for my full England
week, we'll
squad.
give you a proper
Today was the
Euros
warm-up.
rundown.
Today was the warm-up.
And
Today was
obviously-
the warm-up.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. I've been Tyler.
I've been Chris.
I'm JayT and I'll see you later. 'Cause I'm out of here. Goodbye.
See you next week.
Bye.